guys, we are back with another song by Eminem. And which one are we doing today?
Today we're doing In Your Head.
Oh, okay. I think I know that.
Yes, you do. It samples the Cranberries.
Okay, yes. I know the
Exactly.
song.
Yes. So this is track 17, I believe, off of Revival. Double check that. So yes, I love the original song. So this might be my favorite sample in an Eminem song ever.
Really?
Yeah, because I've always loved this song. I like the Cranberries a lot, but this is a great one.
My favorite sample is the song that you thought was The Doors and that I thought was Lionel Richie.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good one. It's not my favorite.
Yeah.
So either way, you know this, but we're gonna listen to it. We'll break it down like we always do.
Yes.
See how we feel about it then. And this video is sponsored by Manscaped. So I recently got the Performance Package 4.0. 4.0 comes with the Lawnmower 4.0, which is awesome. My favorite part, as I always say, it has this light, which is great. You could actually see what you're doing when you're trimming. It's incredible. I don't know why somebody hasn't thought of this earlier than them. It's like it was just sitting there because you need it. You're looking, you're like you have no clue where you're going.
You could do it in the dark.
For sure.
I don't recommend that.
No, don't. It also has a ceramic blade there, if you see.
It's white.
Yes, which is very, very helpful. It helps reduce like nicks and ingrown hairs. It's also waterproof, which is great, so you could use it in the shower. And the performance package comes with the lawnmower. It comes with these two attachments for the lawnmower, so you can, decide the length you want your hair to be. It also comes with this separate ear and nose hair trimmer, which is great. It also comes with the ball deodorant and the ball toner, which are very cool. And it also comes with this travel bag. So you can keep everything in there very conveniently,
You get a lot of good stuff with that.
for sure. Oh, and you also get boxer briefs, which are awesome. I would like,
You got to show him them one
I
time.
know I will. They're
They're like
dirty.
in his closet.
No, they're dirty because I
Oh,
wore them already.
yeah.
Yeah, so they're great. They're like very comfortable. I was like very impressed. I don't know why. I didn't expect them to be poorly made or anything. I was just like, look how well made these are. It
Yeah,
was
they're just like
weird.
really, really, really
Yeah,
nice.
it was great. But yes, I've used, trimmers for years, and this is by far the best. And you can get 20% off and free shipping with the code WithSmith at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code WithSmith. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Your balls will thank you. Mine do.
And just for some, I guess, backstory, in the past like 3 years, I think he's bought like 8 different buzzers and is never really happy with any of them. So the fact that he really likes this one definitely says a lot about the quality of their product.
Yeah, we're planning on making a video like showing the product. We can show them all the buzzers. She's not exaggerating. I have so many.
Yeah,
This one's legit.
just not a ball toner video.
No.
Or we'll have to put that on like OnlyFans or something.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen
No.
though.
All right, you're out.
Yeah. And this video is sponsored by Carnivore Snacks. Best meat snack, best dried meat snack ever. It is so delicious and it has only 2 ingredients. This one's the chuck. We also got the lamb sliders. This has been one of my favorites so far. I still need to try like everything, although I do love the ribeye. That's one of my favorites as well. And this is the chuck. It's only got grass-fed beef chuck and Redmond real salt, 2 ingredients. It's literally like eating a meat potato chip. That sounds really strange, but like it's delicious. Like you will not stop eating this. And it's all good for you. The fact that it's grass fed makes me very happy because it's the best type of meat to eat. Should always be grass fed. And you can use our coupon code with Smith, the same exact one, for 15% off your order. And the link's in the description below as well. And you can also use the same coupon code for my other favorite meat snack. It's Chomps. It's my favorite beef jerky ever. It's also grass fed, minimal ingredients, like 90 calories. You can't go wrong with this. I love having both of them as snacks. And you can use the same coupon code for Chomps for 10% off your order and an additional 10% off subscriptions. Also, check out SeatGeek. You can use the same coupon code with Smith for $20 off your first purchase, and you can get concert tickets, sporting event tickets, literally any kind of ticket. And our experience with them was great. It was electronic. We didn't need a paper ticket. It couldn't have been better, to be honest. And you can use the link in the description below. And also check out our Amazon storefront, links in the description below for that. Like and subscribe and follow us on social media channels if you'd like to. And that's it from me.
Yes. All right. And this is a short song. There's only two verses, so I think I'm only going to pause it once.
Yes.
So you
And
guys should be
someone
happy.
someone made a comment saying that our intros are like 25 minutes long. This one was 5 minutes and 40 seconds. So I don't think that's too bad.
Just skip.
Yes.
All right. Or don't. Watch the sponsors and then
Yeah.
skip.
Learn about good products. That's how I've learned about many of them, to be
Yes.
honest.
All right. Here we go. In your head.
I'm packing up my shit, smart shit in the cars I can fit. And I'm just driving as far as I can get away from these problems. To all of my sorrows I forget what's tomorrow like. Cause tonight I'm starting life again. Get to the corner and stop. Fuck am I going? Beside psycho when I fantasize, starting my whole life over. Yeah, right. Oh, and I might go and get hypnotized so I don't even recognize no one. I try to look alive, but there's nothing like holding your head up high when you're dead inside. And I just died, so in case you're wondering why my inside showing, cause I done spilled on my guts, and those are mine, so I'm picking them up and stuffing them back. Fuck it, I've done enough in this rap shit. Recovery brought me nothing but back to right where I was, and perhaps this could have been my victory lap if I wasn't on the verge of relapse.
And yeah, like I said, I know this song, and I also know the original song.
Yes. So the song starts off with the sample from Zombie by the
Mhm.
Cranberries with her saying, "What's in your head? Zombie, 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 zombie." Okay, so if you guys aren't familiar, the song Zombie, which is incredible, you should check that out. It's about the conflict in Northern Ireland. Um, so I believe it was between people that wanted like the Ireland to be like a national like independent state, and then there was people that wanted it to be part of the UK. I believe there's some religious stuff going on with the Protestants and Catholics as well. Not exactly familiar, even though I am Irish, but yeah. So it's a great song, and I believe right the zombie that she's talking about is just that people are just mindlessly just they're continuously in the cycle of war and violence and they're not even like thinking, right? Is that how you interpret the original song?
I think so.
Like
Um,
just mindless?
well, yeah, because I think it's almost like, what are we even fighting for anymore? I feel like that's the message, kind of.
Yeah.
Like you're just like blindly following one side, and it's just like, why are we even, you
I
know?
yeah, that's exactly how I interpret it.
Yeah.
So it starts off with her. Sadly enough, like a month after this Eminem album came out, she died, the lead
Yeah,
singer. And then shortly after his other album came out, or right before his album came out, Juice World died, where they had that sample.
that is true.
Very odd luck. Okay, so then after that little chorus, Eminem comes in. First verse, he says, "I'm packing up my shit, as much shit in the car as I can fit, and I'm just driving as far as I can get, away from these problems, till all of my sorrows I forget. What's tomorrow like? 'Cause tonight I'm starting life again." So this is interesting imagery. You know,
Mm.
he's literally just throwing shit in the car,
Yeah.
getting away to get away from his problems, his life. The scheme is cool. The fit, get, forget. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
really
it's a
cool.
good scheme for
And
sure.
and then he's saying, "What's so?" He's like wondering, what's tomorrow like? You know what I mean?
Well,
He's
because
like,
it sounds like he's getting in the car and not even really knowing where he's going or what he's doing,
exactly. He's wondering.
just going.
Yeah, just like I can't deal with this anymore. And then he says, "Get to the corner and stop. Fuck am I going? Besides psycho, when I fantasize starting my whole life over. Yeah, right. Oh, and I might go and get myself hypnotized, right? Is the next line. So I don't even recognize no one." So, yeah, he realizes, like, okay, what am I doing? I'm trying to run away from this, but I
Yeah,
don't know
because
what's
he's
going
just like
on.
sick of everyone and everything. But it's like, can I really be doing this right now?
I love the line, though. Fuck am I going besides psycho? So he's going psycho, right?
Yeah,
But yeah, so he's this fantasy, which we've heard from him throughout his discography. It's fantasy of being a normal person and you know what I mean, not having the problems that he has in his life.
yeah.
And then yeah, he wants to get hypnotized so he doesn't recognize anyone. I think so. It's interesting that he wouldn't recognize anyone. I feel like he doesn't want them to recognize him, but he just
That
wants
is
to
true.
be completely alienated from all of his issues so he doesn't recognize them either. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
He says, "I try to look alive because there's nothing like holding your head up high when you're dead inside, and I just hide." So, wait, I believe it's, and I just died. Let's see. Yes. So I have the lyrics on my phone. I'm always prepared because a lot of these YouTube videos are wrong. So the lyrics are, "There's nothing like holding your head up high when you're dead inside." And then he says, "And I just died." So
Like from like literally when he like flatlined in
oh,
his overdose.
interesting. I didn't even equate that. I think you might be
That's what I
right,
thought
though.
it
I
meant.
think you're right. I think he is referring to that.
Yeah.
So, because he says, so, because I was confused because he said, "There's nothing like hold your head up high when you're dead inside," meaning like, you know what I mean? Like your emotions are dead. And he's like, "And I just died." So, meaning he's dead inside. So, it could
Um,
be, but there's a reason where I think you're right. It actually comes up where I think you might be right that he could be alluding to that.
yeah,
So, he says, "And I just died. So, in case you're wondering why my insides are showing,
because he's dead.
because I done spilled all my guts, and those are mine, so I'm." So he's doing this cool thing where, I mean, we talk about this all the time. He does this a lot, where he stops the bar in the middle of a sentence, right? So
Hmm.
he's like, and I just died, so in. That's the end of the bar. And then he goes, "Case you're wondering why my insides are showing," and then mine, so and then end of bar, and then he continues it.
Yeah, it's very
It's
interesting.
so yeah, he's saying when you're dead inside, you just gotta, act like you're cool, just
Yeah, like just keep moving,
yeah.
just keep going.
And then he says, "Why my insides are so much like you pointed out." He's dead inside,
Yeah.
right? But he's also, then he says, "I spilled my guts." So he's that's why you can see them. And he
Hmm.
says, "So I'm picking them up and stuffing them back.
Hmm.
Fuck it. I've done enough in this rap shit. Recovery brought me nothing but back to right where I was. And perhaps this could have been my victory lap if I wasn't on the verge of relapse."
So is that a double entendre, like talking shit about the Relapse album, but also saying like, okay, like I might actually physically relapse?
So this is interesting. This is what made me think when he talks about being dead inside and you were talking about like, oh, like when he died, like overdose type thing. That line makes me think maybe you could be right. So, okay, he starts saying picking them up and stuff in the back, talking about his guts, right? So he spilled all his guts. That's so he's putting them back inside because he's moving forward. So then he starts this scheme where he's done enough in this rap shit, meaning like his career, he's accomplished everything he wants to. So this line is very interesting. "Recovery brought me nothing but right back to where I was." So that's literally okay. So his album Recovery.
Yeah, and then also just recovery in general, like recovering from like alcohol and like addiction.
Yeah, so it literally just brings you to where you started. You know what I mean? Because you have to start over. But
Yeah,
so
and you have to, fix yourself.
it's a dark-ish way to look at recovery. Do you know what I mean?
That's true.
It's like, oh man, I'm just back to where I was before I got here. All this time went by. I'm no further along. I'm just to where I started, right? So that's an interesting way that he observes it. But so the album, Recovery was his first album when, so it was his second album, after he had Encore, and then there was the gap when he overdosed and everything.
Yeah.
So people looked at Relapse and they were like, even though that won a Grammy and stuff, like you pointed out before, he kind of talks shit about it, right? So Recovery is just like, okay, that's finally where he's supposed to be. And perhaps this could have been my victory lap if I wasn't on the verge of relapse. So, like you just said, it does sound like it could be a play on him actually relapsing on drugs and alcohol,
Mm.
then it's obviously a play on his album Relapse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think the he could be saying like, oh, he might go back to that type of music. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Like he might go back to the Relapse style. You know what I'm saying? Um, and then it goes back into the chorus, which is what's in your head, zombie, zombie, zombie. All right, we'll pick it up here and finish out the song.
It seems to be the reoccurring main theme. The shit I would daydream as a kid. I was 18. I went from an irate teenager to still raging. Is it though amazing? Back then I put everything into the rhyme. Whether it was sad, mad, happy, or angry, I spit it. The mainstream, I hit it. Hey me, I did it. Did what? Haley, baby, I did it. Meaning make you 80% of what I rapped about. Maybe I should've did a better job at separating shady and entertaining from real life, but the same thing is still the hardest thing to explain. It's the craziest shit I ever seen, and back then it was like I ain't even bother taking into consideration you and they being older and may hear me say things. I did it, A me and B just ain't me. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let's strip away everything and see the main reason that I feel like a lame piece of shit. I sound cranky and bitter, complain, beef, and pick about the same things. Cause when I look at me, I don't see what they see. I feel a shame, greedy, and lately I've been contemplating escaping to get away and go wherever this road takes me. It's making me crazy. What's in my
All right. So it fucking infuriates me how short this song is.
Yeah, I
It
didn't even realize how
really,
short it was until you were like, "We'll play it out." And I was like, "Did we already do 2 pauses?" And I was like, "Oh, wow, it's a really short
there's only two
song."
verses, and it's so fucking good. I was getting the chills in his second verse, like when he like he's talking to Haley, and then he's saying like why he feels bad about himself. I don't
Yeah.
know why. It was like it gave me the chills though. I was like, fuck. All right. So he comes in the second verse. It seems to be the reoccurring main theme. The shit I would daydream as a kid. I was 18. I went from an irate teen to still raging. And then I believe it's as an adult. As adult, amazing. So they have, isn't it though amazing? So yeah, I went from an irate teenager to still raging as adult, amazing. Back then, I put anything into the rhyme, whether it was sad, mad, happy, or angry. Okay, so he's saying this is a reoccurring theme in his life, right? He always wanted to be a rapper,
Yeah.
and he went as a teenager, he was just, you know, angry, and that's what he put in his music, you know.
Yeah.
And then he literally says he would put anything that he was feeling. You know, he wore his emotions on his sleeve, kind of like what he said. He spilled all his guts in that first verse, right?
Mm.
He said whether it was sad, mad, happy, or angry, like whatever he felt, he would rap about it. And then he continues, I spit it, the mainstream, I hit it, yay me, I did it. And then he says, did what? So it's funny, he's poking fun at himself here. I
Yeah.
really like this line though. So he's like, okay, I imagine this as a teenager and as a kid, this is all I really wanted, right? And like I fulfilled my dreams. And he's like, I hit the mainstream. And then he said, yay me, I did it. And then
He's just like, "What are you
and then
talking
he says,
about?"
did what? So kind of like, okay, what did you do?
You're like, "What do you think you did?" Because
Yeah.
you didn't,
And then
basically.
yeah, and then he gets into the what did you do and then at what cost with like this stuff here. He
Mhm.
says, Haley, baby, I didn't mean to make you 80% of what I rapped about. Maybe I should have did a better job at separating shady and entertaining from real life, but this fame thing is still the hardest thing to explain. It's the craziest shit I ever seen, and back then it was like I ain't even bothered taking into consideration. All right, so we'll finish that next there. But this is I always wondered if we discussed this in early reactions, especially to songs like Kim and Bonnie and Clyde. Like what's it like for Haley
Yeah.
as an adult, which she is now, hearing these things.
And like when did she hear them for the first time? And like what did she think of them?
Exactly. So I'm sure part of her liked it. I'm sure part of her hated it. You know what I mean?
Well, there were definitely things to like not want to hear.
Yeah. So he's saying, like, okay, he's talking to her directly, saying, I'm sorry that 80% of what I rapped about. So it's probably not as high as 80%, but, we hear
It's
about her a
pretty
lot.
high, yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, okay, I probably should have separated that. So he started the verse talking about he just put everything in there, whatever he was feeling, experiencing. But, he got famous and then he continued just to do what got him famous.
Yeah.
And then he says he never bothered to take into consideration you one day being older and may hear me say things I didn't A, mean, and B, just ain't me. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let's strip away everything and see the main reason that I feel like a lame piece of shit. I sound cranky and bitter. Okay, so he continues the scheme. He didn't consider Haley when she's older,
Yeah.
and he didn't realize that she might not understand that he doesn't mean everything he says, and some of them just aren't him. He just said them to say them, right? And then he says, "Okay, let's strip that all the bullshit away." And it's like so fascinating to hear him. He says the main reason I feel like a lame piece of shit. I sound cranky and bitter. He's worth hundreds of millions of dollars. He's like one of the most respected, artists, let alone rappers, in the
Yeah.
world, and he feels bad about himself. And he like acknowledges he's cranky and bitter, you know? It's fascinating.
Well, that could also be like a recovery thing as well.
So what do you mean about that?
Like a lot of times if you're in AA or NA, like we both are, we have 7 years clean. If someone's like very cranky and bitter, usually they're not doing something that they should be doing.
Yeah, true.
Like they always say, I mean, not that it's a saying, I don't even know, I don't even remember what the actual saying is, but like if you're miserable in AA, like something's not right, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, it's like they refer to like being a dry drunk,
Yeah,
meaning you're not drinking, but you still have like a shitty attitude and stuff.
yeah,
So I should point out the rhyme scheme is insane through this whole verse. You know what I mean? It's the say things that didn't a mean, ain't mean, like he does it
yeah.
from the beginning. The separating, 80. It's
Yeah, it's got a really good rhyme scheme in this song.
yeah, the syllable the same. It seems like he's carrying the exact same syllables throughout the whole thing. Okay, so he says, I feel like a lame piece of shit. I sound cranky and bitter, complain, beef, and bicker about the same things. Because when I look at me, I don't see what they see. I feel ashamed, greedy, and lately I've been contemplating escaping to get away and go wherever this road takes me. It's making me crazy. What's in my,
And then it goes into the chorus and ends, right?
what's in your head? Yes.
Interesting.
So yeah, this last part, it's acknowledging, okay, yeah, I'm talking about the same things because I feel these things, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's interesting.
that's
He
fine.
says he feels ashamed and greedy. So he's ashamed for, I guess what he put Haley through, you know what I mean? Maybe some of the things he said and done. But
Well,
then
I mean, so we're obviously not rappers, but I'm sure like the only equivalent I could think of is like thinking about all the texts that you sent people and things you've said to people when you were younger and you're like, wow, like, thinking back on your memories, like that's like really cringy and like I don't even want to think about some of the things I did or said. Like it's kind of like that, but like he's a rapper, so we've all like heard
yeah.
it and are aware, like the whole world knows it.
Yeah. And then I guess the greedy line is like why he like keeps rapping and like he wants to make more money, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But then, he ends it with like, lately I'm contemplating escaping, going wherever this road takes me. So the whole song, which is the chorus is what's in your head, what's in your head. The whole song is what's going on in his head and
Yeah,
the way he really feels. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like his innermost thoughts and like he is exposing himself, like how vulnerable.
He's exposing himself.
Yeah. So like, I feel lame, I feel bitter, I'm angry, insecure. I don't see what they see, which is literally one of the lines. You know what I mean? Like I feel unworthy. I don't deserve the adoration I get from my fans and shit. But
I
yeah,
feel like everyone feels like that at some point. It's
of
kind of like
course.
you feel like a fraud, like you don't deserve what you have, and like you're not, I feel like a lot of celebrities will feel like that at some point.
Yeah, it's interesting because he's been famous for decades at this point. This is well now it's like 6 years ago, so he's like in his mid 40s at this point.
Like anyone who reaches any form of success feels this way. Like you could even be like, I don't know,
Mhm.
the head manager of like a big company, and like you sort of feel like you're like a fraud. You're like, how did I get here?
Yeah,
Like, do I deserve this? Like, just not even just being famous or not being famous. Whenever you're in like a high up position, people always feel that way.
yeah, for sure.
Mhm.
But yeah, I love this song. I love the sample. I like the content. I love the way he rhymes in this. This is definitely one of my favorite songs on the album.
Yeah, definitely. It's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like the sample.
Yeah, it's great. It's like a cheat code using samples, you know what I mean? Because you can trick people into thinking they like your song when really the only thing they like is the sample. But
Yeah,
that's
and
not the case with this song for
it
me.
definitely takes a song that has like a more sad sentiment to it and makes it like actually palatable for someone who doesn't like sad songs like me.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Because
Yeah.
like, oh, some of these lyrics are really sad and I like feel bad, but like I like the song,
Yeah.
which is rare.
Yeah,
Song
for
usually, if
sure.
it makes me feel bad, I'm usually like, I'm not listening to that again.
This song doesn't sound sad, like musically.
In the beginning, it does. It trails down.
That part.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Whenever a song trails down instead of going up, I don't know what that means musically. I'm not a music person, but
well,
that
yeah, it
makes it sound
brings,
sad.
yeah, of
They're like
course. There's
da-na-na
certain
instead of like
notes.
da-na-na, you know.
Yeah, as soon as the drum kicks in, though, it kind of becomes upbeat. You know what I mean? Once Eminem came in.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
But
right.
yeah. So definitely check out Manscaped, Carnivore Snacks, SeatGeek, Chomps, Amazon storefront, like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you. Bye.
Bye.